Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Hitchhiking Yeti here, and today is going to be a great vlog. I really feel good about this because we are revisiting my first video that I ever put here on the channel that was like a real vlog format. We were going to revisit my vlog about Robert Harrell, the Fort Fisher Hermit. It's been a while, been a couple years since we've been out there to his old World War II bunker that he called home. And yeah, we're gonna go check him out. But if you would like to see a mural, cool mural of him, is actually located right here where we are today. This is kind of me retracing my steps. Even my old video, I started it right here at the Last Resort bar here in Carolina Beach. This here is the back side of that, and that's where you will find the mural. And the mural actually reads up here at the top. We'll kind of get a little bit closer to it where you can kind of make it out because it's almost hidden. See how that says school? And over here it says of, and then down here in this corner it says common, and then once again over here, don't get dizzy, it says sense. So School of Common Sense is what the Fort Fisher Hermit was kind of known for giving out there in the marshy swamp where he lived. People like to walk out there and talk to him. He had a little frying pan where you could toss a few dollars his way and give him a little help. But for the most part, he lived off the land out there. He did a lot of fishing and crabbing and things like that, and he was just a man of the land. And he was quite old when he moved out there. I think he was about 62 years of age or something. So it was definitely later part of his life when he decided to go out there and just be a hermit and get away from all the crazy stuff that's going on in the world. So so all the stuff that we are going through this day and time, man, I don't know, one of these days we might all just pack up and go out there and live in the World War II bunker, but who knows. But just be a hermit and try to just live a simpler life, and that's exactly what he did. He just lived off the land. So we're going to go check out where he lived out there, talk a little bit about how he got here and a little bit about his life, and then we're definitely going to go to his grave site, because he actually is buried right over here on the back side of the island here, Pleasure Island, off of Dow Road. I will show you like where the cemetery is. It's back in the woods, so hopefully there won't be too many mosquitoes today. The first time I done this video back years ago when we first kicked this Hitchhiking Yeti thing off, I went back there in August, and I'm gonna tell you something. If you go back, I don't know if you can really tell, if you go back and you watch that video, man, and I didn't have this camera, I was filming it on my iPhone at the time, and I'm telling you, man, I was swatting bugs, and it was bad, man. The mosquitoes were everywhere. So hopefully today we're gonna have a little bit of luck and not have to fight too many bugs off. One thing we will do different in this vlog is we're gonna leave here and we're gonna go straight there, okay, because it's just closer. Just to save a little bit of gas. All right, so we're going to head over there right now and walk back in the woods, because it is still fairly early in the morning. It's not even 9 o'clock yet. I know I said good afternoon, but you know, most people ain't watching this in the morning, so if it is, it's good morning time. And just to show you it's good morning, I have my coffee right here, and I've been sipping on it. I actually bought my coffee this morning from the vault, and it's really hot. It's almost too hot to drink. So if you're ready, I'm ready, my friends. I know this was kind of a lengthy opening, but now let's move on over there to the grave site. I'll show you where that's located. We'll go look at the Fort Fisher Hermit's grave, and then we're going to make our way out to the marshland. We got a pretty good walk out there at Fort Fisher to get out to the marsh where his old World War II bunker was located. Well, it's still there. There's actually a plaque on the bunker kind of commemorating him living there. So if you're ready. Okay, that's getting drinkable now. That's good. I'm ready. Let's begin, my friends, on a little adventure. It's gonna be a real adventure today, man. We're going out into the marshes. Hopefully, we will not find any gators out there or anything like that. We will be careful. Gators, copperheads, probably my biggest fears out there in that marsh area. I've seen a lot of copperheads. Still not seen a gator yet. But you just never know. We are in the coastal communities. They are around, trust me. And just like that, my friends, we have made it back here on Dow Road, right here on the back side of Pleasure Island. And right here is the cemetery you need to come to if you're going to find the grave of the Fort Fisher Hermit, Robert Harrell, Federal Point Methodist Church Cemetery. So right here it is. You can just park right out here next to the road, and then we're just gonna walk it right back through there, and we're gonna hope there's not a lot of mosquitoes today. All right, I have made it back here. You can see the road right there behind me. It's not too far of a walk. And right here is the graveyard, cemetery area. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you something right now. We are gonna make this very quick because the bugs are already buzzing me. They're sniffing me out. Absolutely. That's kind of weird. Look at all that stuff laying right there on that. Very bizarre. All right, so when you walk in here, he is not buried within the confines of this fence. He's actually buried just to the left of that. And this right here is the Newton graveyard and home site. So if you walk right through here, and on this little pathway, this is where you're going to find Robert's grave. And I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a quick thing because there's like bugs and flies back here, man. Galore. And so when you come back here, this right here, right next to the fence, there's the main graveyard. And right here is Robert Harrell's grave with this American flag. Robert E. Harrell, the Fort Fisher Hermit. He made people think. Yeah, this was it. Notice right here, this is like really cool. Have a little frying pan right here because that was one of the things he did out there in the marsh. He had his frying pan out there, so when people come out there and talk to him about his school of common sense and his thoughts about the world and everything, he had that frying pan. He would definitely take donations and people would throw money in it. As you see, there's like a penny and a quarter right there. And I've actually, I think the first time I came out here, maybe the second time I come out here to show somebody actually put a couple dollars in there. A little toy truck. Yeah, man. So this is his resting place right here for the Fort Fisher Hermit. All right, since I showed you the Fort Fisher Hermit's resting place, now we're gonna do the real part of this video. We're gonna do some hiking for sure. We're gonna go down there to the Fort Fisher recreation area and park, and then we're gonna hit the old, I think it's called the Basin Trail, and we're gonna take a little walk out to the salt marsh where his World War II bunker is located, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Definitely, if you come back here, my friends, for sure, spray it with some kind of bug spray because that's one reason we're making this so quick. They are just all over me right now. It is insanity. So as I was back here fighting off the bugs, it wasn't even the mosquitoes that were really bad. It was some kind of fly. And I mean, it was just like, they was just kept buzzing your ears and just all over you, you know. And that one, he got me pretty good. He sunk his teeth in, or whatever he was piercing my skin with, I don't know. But yeah, the flies were the biggest pain. I didn't really see any mosquitoes unless they have now mutated into some kind of fly mosquito hybrid creature. Maybe that's what it is. Man, I don't know. But as many was flying around me, I'm surprised I didn't get attacked more. But I don't know, I guess I was shooing them away just at the right time. Okay, now for real, we're off to the Fort Fisher recreation area. Just like that, we have made it down here to the Fort Fisher area. On a very beautiful Sunday morning too, if I might add. Love the trees down here. All right, I have made it down here, and luckily I got some parking. But this here is the Fort Fisher State Recreation Area. Right up here is the showers and changing rooms to go out on the beach and have you a fun beach day. I think this place opens around 6 a.m. in the morning, and it is about 8:50 right now. And I am here to tell you something. Look at this parking lot. I almost did not get a parking place. I mean, there is cars everywhere. And why is this a thing? Well, I tell you why. Because see, Carolina Beach now for several years have been, you know, charging to park. Curie Beach followed that like a year later or 2 years later. And now this right here on the island is the last place to come to with free parking. Is down here at Fort Fisher State Recreation Area. And the parking lot is full. If you're an employee, you have a parking spot. But yeah, there's not a lot. As you can see, this parking lot here where I'm parked is already pretty much full. There ain't hardly any room at all. It's all just packed in here. I got really lucky. But look at all these folks. They're already parking on the road that takes you down to this is Loggerhead Road. This will actually take you down to the aquarium is just next door here. You're going to see it as we hike this trail, as we move back toward the World War II bunker where Robert Harold called home. But heck yeah, man, it's going to be a busy day, even on a Sunday, for beach time. All right, we are ready to enter right here. This back cave behind me, this is the Basin Trail. So we're actually crossing over where you take your four-wheel drive vehicles. You can go this way, and you can go drive on the beach on the south end. And right here's the gates. I'm sure I've never done it down here before, and it's been years since I drove my Jeep up on Freeman Park on the north end. But it's definitely a fun thing to do if you have a four-wheel drive vehicle. Definitely come up here. You'll get you a code when you get your permit, and then you're allowed to pass through the gates and head that way and go out there on the beach and do a little four-wheeling. Go drive around a little bit. So right here is our Basin Trail sign. World War II bunker is 0.8 miles, so not quite a mile. That's pretty good. But we're going to go all the way to the observation deck. I ain't coming all this way and not show you that, because that's really a beautiful spot just to go and bird watch and just take in the beautiful nature that's out there, because they ain't nothing. But the bunker is our first priority as we head into the canopy. And hopefully we will not be having issues with bugs up here like we did back there, you know, at the grave site. All right, so as we enter the Basin Trail, you have a little map here to kind of give you an idea of where you are and where you're going. Right here is the parking area. I know it's a little foggy looking, but yeah, we're going to just take a walk out through here, go by Hermit's Creek. I don't know if that's named after the Hermit or not, but the Basin Trail walk is right up through here, and they got a little star. It says World War II bunker, and then when you pass the bunker a little bit further, right there is the overlook that we're going to finish our walk to, and then we're going to wrap our video up. So let's go ahead and continue on. It's a really nice little walk, very beautiful, and keep our eyes peeled for copperheads and maybe the occasional alligator. So for the most part, this trail is a very easy trail to walk. It's very flat. You're going to find some little wooden areas like this, structures built to help you navigate across the creek beds back here. As you see, it's very dry right now. It's not rained in quite some time. Really cool. I like that tree right there. I bet people, there's like a path. I'm thinking people go there and take pictures and stuff in front of it, but yeah, it's a very nice trail. If there's a downside of this trail at all, and I'm going to show you here shortly, there is a section where you have to walk in kind of some pretty loose sand. It's actually going to take us out almost on like a beach area a little bit, but that's probably the worst part about this trail. But other than that, it's a very nice walk and an easy walk because it is so flat. There goes somebody. They're heading out doing a little four-wheeling. But we're going to continue on this way. Here's the Basin Trail. That's the pedestrian beach. And we're just going to continue on back through here. And probably coming up pretty shortly, I should be able to show you the backside of the Fort Fisher Aquarium. We'll be right in the backyard of the aquarium. It's pretty cool. So something I will definitely tell you as we cross this bridge, as we're back here in the foliage, still quite a few flies and bugs flying around. As one's like messing around with my camera right now. But once you get out of this foliage stuff, it don't seem to be too bad, because going across that bridge, nothing bothered me. You get back here in this area, matter of fact, right here is the fence line for the backside of the property of the Fort Fisher Aquarium. And right there is the aquarium. Right here is this like lake behind it, but right there is the aquarium itself off in the distance. So we're moving right along, and it shouldn't be too much further. The trail's going to open up, and it's going to take us out into the beach area. So we're going to I'm going to kind of quicken my pace through this wooded area here and get out there in that open area, because I cannot stand bugs. I probably should have sprayed before I came this morning, but I didn't. That's just me. But yeah, we're going to pick up the pace through here, and then I'm going to show you where it opens up not too far ahead. Oh, this is a welcome sight right here. So yeah, when you make it out here on this little wooden path, you can see there's a truck out there just drove by, 4-wheel drive. We're about to get out of the bugs now. All right, my friends, right here is where I exited the greenery, all this foliage we just walked through, which there was quite a few bugs in there, I'll be honest with you. And as you can see, right here is the Fort Fisher Aquarium. And this is probably my least favorite part of the walk, is this sand. As you can see, not a big fan of the sand. And right here is, you can kind of see where we parked off in the distance there. You can see the top of the recreation area. Right there, that roof. And right here is the pathway we walked across earlier. And this is where people take their 4-wheel drive vehicles out on the beach for a fun day. And where we're headed is out through there. Is that kind of scary? It shouldn't be. It's not really a big deal. But right out through there is the marshy area we're going to. Right over here to the left, actually, I believe. We're going to head back in there and hunt for the World War II bunker. Like I've never been there before. But, you know, we're telling a story today. All right, I think we've made it. Right, we walked this pathway right here, probably, I'm gonna say 200 yards, guesstimation there. I'm thinking 2 football fields long. And now we're ready to head back into a little bit of foliage coverage. Like how they have this sign out here, you know, warning everybody, gate closes at 9 p.m. Don't get caught, you know. So now we're headed back in. Look at that out through there. Is that not beautiful? It's beautiful in its own way. Okay, right here is a sign that says Basin Trail, World War II bunker, 0.3 miles away. So we've already knocked off a pretty good chunk of it. Pretty good chunk of it. We're getting her done. Now, since I show you the worst part of the walk is out there on that beach, this right here could be my favorite part of the walk. This long extended like bridgeway, wooden bridge that goes across, you know, the marsh area itself. I absolutely love this spot. This spot right here is really rad, really cool, beautiful. So check out this path right here. I wonder what made that. Look at this. This trail is like very worn down. It's been used quite a bit, and it kind of goes back through that brush right there. Do you think that would possibly be a gator? Probably not, right? You know what? I bet you that right there would just be a deer path. Like deers, there's a lot of deer down here. If you like seeing deer, come down here to Fort Fisher and just drive toward the ferry early in the morning, like at sunrise. Man, I can come down through here sometimes and you'll see like 7, 8 deer just all wadded up on the side of the road eating grass. It's crazy how many deer they are down here in this vicinity. But look at how pretty this is out here. I mean, man, you are one with nature. And to think, the Fort Fisher Hermit, Robert Harrell, he lived out here in this. He hiked this. And I guarantee you, he did not have no cool walkway like this back in the day to get back there to this World War II bunker. And how did he even find it? Was it well known that this bunker was even back here in the woods? You know, that's crazy in its own right. And real quick before we leave this insanely large walkway of wood, I'm in the process right now of possibly rebuilding my patio at the house. And I just couldn't imagine building that. And not just building something this long, but out of wood. But look how where you're at, I mean, it's like mud and swampiness, and golly, you just got to take a moment and just tip your hat to somebody who built all this. I'm sure it was more than one person, but darn, man, job well done, man. Thank you so much. You're making this possible, because I very seriously doubt it. I would be out here without this pathway right here, because that is just a bunch of mud with a lot of little fiddler crabs and stuff scurrying around. I can tell there's crabs out here because all the little holes and stuff. Now I do see some deer track right over in that area, so yes, there's definitely some deer galloping around out here. Look at all the crabs over here. This is like turning into a complete nature vlog. Now they're going to be still. When you first walk up on them, they scurry around. It looks pretty awesome. I think they all just jumped in their holes. It's because I got a camera on. It's like when I go to a pier, I can't ever find not one dolphin to show up, or a shark, nothing cool. But if I don't have my camera, guess what? Man, about every time I walk out of pier without a camera, boom, I see all kinds of cool stuff. All right, my friends, we have made it to the Fort Fisher bunker. It's just right down this little pathway right here behind me. This is where Harold fed himself by fishing, scavenging. He and his bunker became a tourist attraction, and visitors would listen to him talk about his school of common sense, which we seen earlier on that mural. That's why that mural had those words printed on it. And they would actually leave donations in his frying pan. After living as a hermit for 17 years, he died under mysterious circumstances in 1972, with the official cause of death given as a heart attack. His life has been commemorated with books, films, and even a theater production. So let's take a little walk back here and look at the bunker itself. There is a lot of bugs zinging around back here. I can actually hear them swarming. I don't know if my microphone on my camera is going to pick it up, but there is a lot of action going on back here in this area. And this here is the old World War II bunker here that he lived in. But back then it looked a little bit different. There's a lot of photos you can find online. I try to find some to put in here, but the entrance right here, he had like a lot of boards and driftwood and things he scavenged and found to kind of make a little bit better entrance for him, with a little bit more shelter and cover to get into a spot. I'm thinking maybe to keep bugs out, but back in those days probably wasn't as bad, because all this foliage that we see here today, all this growth, I don't think was a thing. All the photos I see, it looks kind of very open, and look at the backside, all this greenery up here. And somebody was very kind enough to come down here and visit his place. And right here is a placard. Get away, fly. Right here is the Robert E. Harrell placard, the Fort Fisher Hermit, in his memory. And this is where they found him dead on June 4th, 1972. I think he was just probably right here in this very area. And somebody actually put some flowers right here for him. Really cool. Come around the side. Have some boards down here. Don't know what that's for, but you can actually probably come over here and probably get up here on the top and kind of look around. Maybe that's what we need to do. All right, I didn't do this the first time. We're on top of the World War II bunker now. And you can kind of see what it looks like up here. You know, just a big old flat concrete slab. But yeah, all this growth right here in the pictures from back in the day, it wasn't even a thing at all. You can kind of see the Cape Fear River off of there, over that way. as we look off to the west. Yeah, a lot of greenery, a lot of growth all the way around this place now. And in this direction right here, we're actually looking at the Atlantic Ocean. It's right on the other side of those sand dunes. I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually a car over there, four-wheel drive vehicle, heading out to the beach. Yeah, pretty cool up here. Pretty nice. One thing I like about up here, it got a little breeze, and that's always good. And another thing I like up here, the bugs ain't bothering me. So that's definitely a win-win for me. All right, so as we're standing up here on the top, just want to let you know that Harold actually arrived here in this area in 1955, having left a mental institution in Morganton, North Carolina. Now, he was from Shelby, but he was in Morganton because he was in a mental institution. When he left the mental institution, he then hitchhiked 260 miles from Morganton all the way down here to this area. At first, Harold lived in a tent near the Confederate monument by the fort. Then he decided to squat in this abandoned World War II era bunker set in the salt marsh beside the Cape Fear River. He collected all kind of driftwood for furnishings around this little place to make it home. He ate fish, clams, oysters, and planted a vegetable garden that he's supplemented his diet with. So Harold learned many of the survival skills from Impy Hewitt, a true hermit who also lived in the salt marshes at Fort Fisher area. So he actually learned from someone else. I didn't even realize that. Harold loved to talk to visitors, and they would leave donations in his frying pan. And he also had a guest book, a little guest book that people, I guess, would sign and stuff like that. So really, really cool. All right, so now I'm going to show you what the inside of the bunker itself looks like. I just turned up the light on this thing, but this is kind of what you're looking at. This is the inside of his bunker where he lived. Don't really see no snakes. This would be a great spot if you were a snake, I bet. But we're not going to talk about that right now. Not while we're in here. Let's just go ahead and exit. All right, so there is his bunker. So let's continue on out here to the observation deck. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about his passing and his death, which is still a mystery to this very day. Observation deck this way. All right, my friends, we have made it. This here is the observation deck that you can hike to here on the Basin Trail. Right here is the beautiful view that you get when you arrive here. It is very, very pretty. Right over here on this side is where all the four-wheel drive vehicles are still driving to get out on the beach and set up for today. This is a great place if you have a canoe. As you can see, there is some people out there partaking in a little morning canoe ride. Right out there in front of us, you can see there's quite a few people out there paddling around, doing a little nature watching, I'm sure. And then if we look over to the left, you can see the Fort Fisher Southport Ferry. It's actually running. And then we go a little bit further to the left, right here in the middle of the screen. See where those wooded trees are? That is actually Zeke's Island. And at one time you could walk over there via the wall. There was like this wall platform it extended across, and I think it still goes across. At low tide you possibly could traverse that, but in all honesty, I think that's frowned upon now. We used to do it back 10-15 years ago, but now I don't really do it anymore. But getting back to the point about the Fort Fisher Hermit, when he lived out here, you know, talking about his death and stuff like that a little bit, very sad, very sad. You know, he had a lot of people come out here and visit him. He was the second most visited tourist attraction here in the Cape Fear region. Only thing that surpassed him, and back in those days when he was back here in the 60s and stuff, was the USS North Carolina battleship. Think about that. You being him, the second most visited attraction in the area. There's a lot of people like to come out here and visit him. The downside of that, there was some not so nice people that came out here to visit him. Sometimes he would encounter drunk youth, you know, teenagers, or you know, people that was drinking that was really young would come out here and kind of torment him a little bit. And politicians didn't like him too much at all. He's living out here on, you know, land that's not his, and you know, talking about common sense and all this type of stuff, probably kind of bucking the system of what was being pushed on people back in the 60s. A lot of stuff going on, you know, the Vietnam War. There's a lot of things happening in the world at that time, kind of similar to what's going on right now. But yeah, so like you said, June 4th, 1972, he was found dead out here. And they attributed his death to a heart attack, but there was never no like an autopsy or anything done, because I guess of his age. He was really, you know, getting up there in the years. But there's a lot of people said, there's fishermen that was out here, there's people out here that said they seen a car speeding away that day it happened. And some people think there was a couple people come out here and gave him a real bad beating, and actually, you know, ended up killing him with, you know, the wounds and stuff, and just the jarring and everything that would go through something like that for a man, an elderly person at that. You know, somebody that was that age is really, really sad. But no really investigation was ever done. They kind of sweeped it under the porch, and that was all she wrote, and that was the end of the Fort Fisher Hermit. And yeah. Nobody really knows. I mean, there's still people, I guess, investigating it to this very day, but they still ain't come up with nothing. You know, if somebody did do that, man, they're so long gone now. You know, I mean, that was a long time ago. You're talking about over 50 years ago now at this point in time, you know. So those people might not even be alive if it had anything to do with it. Who knows? But it would be nice if somebody had some more information and kind of closed it. But they kind of closed it with a heart attack, and that was it. But no autopsy, no nothing. So that's kind of the mystery. When you hear about people talking about the mystery of the Fort Fisher Hermit, that's probably what they're referring to. That's the way it was told to me. That's the way my mom would hear about him back in the day. I don't think she ever met him or anything, but my mom and her family, you know, when she was young, used to come down here to Carolina Beach. I mean, my family's been coming here forever. And you know, my grandpa especially, I think he was pretty good friends because of a marriage in the family with Carl Winter, who used to own a bunch of fishing boats down here in the area, and they actually still have a road named after him, little Carl Winter Street in downtown Carolina Beach. So that's kind of how we was connected with them, or what ended us coming out here, because who he was married to was somehow, in some way, a cousin or something. They were related. So that's how I found my way to Carolina Beach. You didn't ask, I know. I don't know why I just birthed that, but it just happened. There you go. All right, my friends. It was a challenge today. The bugs, the flies, whatever these critters are that was harassing me on this trail and back there in those woods, they didn't beat me. I still made it. I sure did. I made it. We made it out here. So this will pretty much conclude the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed taking you along. It was a little bit of work today, but we got her done. And I think now I'm just ready to go back home and put on my bathing suit, swimming trunks, and head on out to the beach. I'll meet up with my wife and my niece. They're out there soaking up some sun today while I'm out here in this. You know, I'm soaking up sun too, but I'm soaking up all kinds of other stuff all at the same time. So yeah. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed today's content about Robert Harold and kind of the history, definitely I do recommend, if you're interested, come out here and kind of do the hermit walk like I did today. Go to his grave, come out here, spray with some bug spray before you do it. Don't be like me. I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't. I was really hoping early in the morning, you know, it was going to be okay, but it was pretty tenacious today, if I do say so myself. So I'm all done. Please put comments down below about anything you would like to ask, talk about, locations of your spot. I tried to be kind of detailed today, like where I was at and what I was doing. So yeah, and this is kind of a revisit video. If you want to have a laugh and go back and look at the original video, who knows, it might be better. I mean, that was my very first vlog. So but definitely go check it out if you want to. I might even put a link down in the description below to go see my very first vlog here on YouTube. Have a laugh at my expense. Go ahead. Or you might be laughing at me right now. Who knows? Thank you if you are. Appreciate it. All right, friends. I'm all done for real now. I think I'm about to go take a run. Right? I do enjoy jogging. And I got about a mile to go. Or a little over a mile. I think it's 1.1 miles back. to the to my parking lot where I'm going. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna run it. I don't even think I'm gonna mess with these bugs. I'm just gonna do a big old sprint. I'm gonna knock it out, and I'm gonna be sweaty, but it's okay because I'm going to the beach after this for a little bit with my family. All right. Thanks for watching. Everyone, please stay safe. And I will see you next time. One with nature. Ooh, man, I don't know what that was. But something way out there in the water. I mean, I got my camera on and everything. Made a big splash. That was freaking cool, man. But I bet it won't do it again. All right, my friends. I'm really gone now. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great, great day.